Well, I got my notes, check. Sunglasses, check. Hat, check. Pepsi, check. Thick skin, check. Let's go. Hey, welcome to Golden Blue Dude, everybody. If you're a college football fan, might as well hit the like and subscribe button because that's all we do over here. Go check out our Patreon page. We call our Patreons the shot callers because that's exactly what they do around here. And when the regular season gets here, our Patreons will get to decide which game we'll live stream, and you'll get to watch with Golden Blue Dude. And the score prediction contest will be coming back. Every week I pick out a game and my Patreons guess the score, and whoever comes closest to the score wins $20 every single week, and you can win as many times as you want. The higher the Patreon, the more guesses you get per week. I told y'all earlier today I was trying to move on from conference realignment and get back to normal college football talk. And I really am trying to. But then something else popped up today. By the way, we're almost to 8,000 subscribers. Last count, I think we're 29 away. Let's get there, guys. Let's go ahead and get 8,000 on our way to our 10,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. I think we'll nail that. Maybe even 15. Who knows? But anyways, on to today's news. And it's pretty significant. So, the talks of North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, and Virginia talking to the SEC kind of died down. Well, the flames of that have sprung back up, and they've come back with a vengeance. So, yes, it is still being reported that North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, and Virginia are in serious preliminary talks with the SEC. Now, the biggest hurdle for this, of course, the ACC grant of rights. A lot of people are saying they're ironclad, you can't get around it, so they're just going to have to get through till 2036. ESPN is trying to swoop in and say, not so fast, my friends. They are actually trying to void the TV contract deal with the ACC. What? Yes, that's how desperate ESPN wants the SEC to take over. We all knew it this whole time. We knew it. But now they are most definitely showing their cards. ESPN and the SEC have gotten in bed long time ago. We all knew it. It was little subtleties, but we all knew it. Now it's out in the open. They're straight up trying to void their TV contract with the ACC. To me, this is just my opinion. I think that's crossing the line. Look, I'm all for competition, and I understand people want to put other people out of business. I mean, we look at wrestling, the WWF at the time, now WWE, put WCW out of business. But ever since that happened, their product has been watered down. I'm telling you, ESPN, this is a mistake. If you're trying to put everybody else out of business besides the SEC, it's going to water down your product. It's not going to be a good product. People will start to not watch it. I think ESPN is on the verge of making a serious mistake. If you are going to do this, you need to include as many schools as possible to keep the competition going. Because if you water it down to 20 teams, I'm serious. People are not going to watch it. That's not compelling. You want the Cinderella stories. You want the West Coast having a chance. You want the Midwest having a chance. You want the Northeast having a chance. The Plains. Everybody needs a chance to have a piece of the pie and win a national championship. I don't like this at all. If this is true, I don't like it at all. Now, from what I'm hearing, Florida doesn't want Miami because a lot of people are like, why is Miami not in this sentence? Well, it looks like the Gators are like, nah, we'll take Florida State. We play them every year already. But Florida, since the Steve Spurrier days, have been trying to not schedule Miami. That is a fact. Ask Hurricane fans and even ask Gator fans. They don't like playing Miami. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's political or they just don't like them. I don't know. Florida just doesn't like Miami. And their biggest rival is Florida State. But they don't like Miami even worse. They try not to schedule them if at all possible. So Florida doesn't want Miami in. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Miami is a huge brand. I know their fan support has been down, but first of all, Miami needs to build an on-campus stadium. The Orange Bowl was amazing. Those were the days of Miami right there. So Miami, the first thing you need to be doing right now is building an on-campus stadium because it does get watered down at an NFL football stadium. But your brand is still good, and it's in the top 5, probably top 3 in revenue producing in the ACC. Numbers not released, but most people would say definitely top 3 in the ACC. Now, Tennessee doesn't want North Carolina. but North Carolina is still on the list. So just by looking at that, I would say that Florida has more pull than Tennessee. I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers, Tennessee fans. I'm just going by what I see. Florida doesn't want Miami, and it looks like Miami's not on the list. Tennessee doesn't want North Carolina. North Carolina is on the list. So that tells me that Florida has more pull than Tennessee. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the SEC just prefers North Carolina over Miami. I don't know. And then, of course, Kentucky doesn't want Louisville, who surprisingly, well, not so surprisingly to me, I know Louisville, but to most people, surprisingly, the second highest revenue producing team in the ACC. Why would you not want the second highest revenue producing team in your conference? I don't know. Isn't it all about making money? But Kentucky doesn't want Louisville, so we'll go along with Kentucky. So does that mean that Kentucky has more pull than Tennessee? That would be a little bit of a head scratcher. So if you don't see your team on the list, if you're a fan of a team in the ACC right now, it's because somebody with some strong pull doesn't want them on the list, or they just don't make enough money. But this would be earth-shattering. This would be the end of the ACC. Done, finito. And it would all be because of ESPN. Look, if you put somebody out of business just because you have a better product and they just have to go out of business, I understand that. But this is not good. This is a bad move by ESPN. They are literally taking over college football. And I'm guilty of watching ESPN. They put out a great product on Saturday. It makes you want to watch it. And I'm all for entertaining football television. I'm all for it. But this kind of move, I just don't agree with this. This is a bad move, and I think eventually you'll water your product down to the point where people won't want to watch it because you'll only have a select few teams to choose from. People like choices. That's what ESPN is missing in this equation. People actually like choices. If you start actually taking away the choices of people, that's when you make them mad. Now, if you have choices laid out and they're choosing to watch the SEC, that's one thing. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you start literally taking choices off the table, I'm just telling you right now, ESPN, people are going to start getting mad. And I'm included in that bunch. Look, I want what's best for West Virginia. Maybe eventually the SEC does pick up West Virginia, and that would be awesome. That would be great. But that isn't me supporting this decision by ESPN. You can't just go out and say, well, you know what? We want your teams, so what we're going to do is either give us your teams or we're going to void your TV contract. It really looks like ESPN is trying to pull a power move to try to get teams and then just strictly put the ACC out of business. That's what ESPN is trying to do with this. They are trying to put the ACC out of business, and I don't think this is the right way to do this. Do it on the field. Make it to where people just choose the SEC over the ACC, over the Big Ten, over the Pac-12. But you're actually trying to force people just to choose the SEC no matter what. See, that's where I have a problem with that, ESPN. Give the people choices, and if they choose you, that's fine. But if not, put out a better product. Don't take choices away from people. I don't like this one bit. So that's the direction that we're headed in, people. ESPN strictly taking over college football and taking away your choices. And you know what? We'll probably continue watching ESPN on Saturday because right now it's great. I'm just saying in the future, it might not be so great. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about this situation. Do you think ESPN will get away with this, number one? And number two, do you think the future of college football is not going to be something that you really want to watch? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on my next show.